Hey guys, my name is Bando, this is Brexit Bando, and today I've just got a short video here to share my thoughts on something I did last night. And that is, I got an ultrasonic cleaner recently. And for those of you who aren't aware, an ultrasonic cleaner uses sound waves to clean parts. It's usually used in things like automotive machining, to clean the grease and stuff off of car parts. It's used to clean jewellery, electronics, all sorts of stuff like that. And recently there's been some talk in the miniature world about using them to strip models. And I thought, hey, I've got some vouchers for my birthday. Let's use them for that. So I decided to pick up a moderately sized ultrasonic cleaner. It cost me about £40, and it's not the smallest one, it's most definitely not the largest one, and it fits maybe, I don't know, what did I put in there, 5 human sized models, so like 5 Space Marines from the Horus Heresy with their bases. It's about what you fit in there. And I decided I was going to see how this worked for stripping the paint off models. So I took some pre-painted models that I intended to strip, and I stripped my models using isopropyl alcohol, which is absolutely fine to do if you're using metal models, is a little bit risky to do with plastic models, and is quite risky to do with resin models, but is still doable for all of them. You just have to be careful. It's not like one of those things where you leave it to soak for 3 days and then come and scrub it off. It's more of a dunk scrub situation, especially for resin models. You really want to be careful with those. So normally what happens with isopropyl when you leave it on acrylic paint is the acrylic paint all kind of bunches up and turns all wrinkly, and it's very easy to then remove. Traditionally you'd leave it to soak for an hour, 2 hours, and then you'd use a toothbrush to scrub it clean, and I was really hoping to avoid that stage because I hate that stage. It gets everywhere, it stains my sink for weeks on end, it's a pain in the arse to scrub clean, it gets on my hands, it dries your hands out. Not as bad as Dettol. Dettol's worse. Dettol used to split the corners of my thumbs really badly. And I thought, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll pour some... I did it in 2 ways, because first of all I've got to warn people. The flash point for 99% isopropanol is about 40 degrees Celsius, which is quite low. It's around 40 degrees, I don't know exactly what it is. And that is basically the temperature it will explode at. An ultrasonic cleaner gets hot, I think on average around 38 to 39 degrees, so we are cutting it close. It's also very warm here in the UK, and I obviously had to have a light nearby so I could see what I was doing. So I had to take safety precautions. Now the first thing I did was I put water into my ultrasonic cleaner, because you fill this basket here with liquid. I say basket, it's a tub. There you go, that'll show you. You just fill this with liquid. Usually you can use some sort of cleaner. In this case I was just using water, and then I took a sandwich bag, just a standard IKEA sandwich bag with a, the zip lock at the top, and I put some of the alcohol in there, and I put the models in there, and I put them inside the water, and that was fine because it was cold water, no problem whatsoever. It also very handily contained all of the dirty isopropanol, which is great. I ran that. It usually runs for, I think, 180 seconds as its base cycle, and it can go all the way up to 420 seconds. After the first one, I hadn't really noticed any difference. So I ran it through a couple more times. And I'll be honest, it did nothing. Absolutely nothing beyond what you would normally see from stripping models in a straight up unbubbly, unultrasonic bath. So all I did was I used my toothbrush. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Used a toothbrush, not my toothbrush. I have a dedicated paint stripping toothbrush which is actually nicer than my my regular toothbrush, because it was from a pack of more expensive toothbrushes, and my most recent toothbrush is like the 19p absolute dirt cheapest. So my models are getting a better clean than my teeth are at the moment. Well, you know, British moment. And I just gently scrubbed them, and I didn't really notice any difference. It wasn't any better. Now, this usually leaves the models in a kind of grey, browny state where they're a bit dirty. So I decided to try again with some fresh isopropanol, and I did notice a little bit extra lifting on the paint this time. Once I've already scrubbed most of it off, I did notice the stuff that was already mixed with isopropanol was lifting off better. It still didn't particularly help me with the bits in the crevices, which is where I'm normally struggling. But I did find a tool that would help me. And that's cotton bud, or a Q-tip to my American viewers. I've never really used them for stripping models. I use them all the time for my oil paints, and I just thought, hang on, they're doing the same thing. Dipping one of those in isopropanol and then rubbing it on the area that was still dirty and then flipping it over to the clean side and polishing it clean was a game changer and considerably sped up the whole process. I then tried stripping some models in neat isopropanol just in the bath itself, just fully in there. I threw some ice cubes in to keep the temperature down, and I put a fan on there. And again, not really much of a difference. Not an improvement particularly. They didn't strip anything very well. It just, you know, it is what it is. So I was a little disheartened after that, and I decided to paint some models. And I'm doing a new test model for my Dark Elder. And I needed to use some white ink for the base coat. I've primed it white already. I gave it a coat of the new AK Gen 3 magenta, and then I wanted to zenith all over the top using white because I'm doing the Goober Town Hobbies yellow recipe. I'm trying that out for a bit. And my white in my airbrush was sputtering and spitting and throwing globs of white everywhere. It was disgusting. So I thought, hey, I need to clean this. Wait, I have an ultrasonic cleaner. So I took my airbrush apart, and then I thought, hang on, I've got two other airbrushes just sat on the side here that are broken because they're too gunked up, I can't clean them, I can't get into anywhere to clean them. So I threw them in there. And I ran this through maybe 4 or 5 cycles. It was getting hot by the end, so I had to take a break and then cool everything down, you know, to stay safe. And then I took them apart, and I did each individual part a couple of times as well. And I did all the nozzles separately. Now remember, a lot of these nozzles and parts have O-rings in them, so you don't want to do it too much. So I took them out regularly and let them evaporate and wash off between sort of batches. But I noticed very quickly that the paint was bubbling up and was easy to wipe off. And using simple kitchen towels, I was able to clean off a lot of the paint. And then using cotton buds, I was able to clean the insides, and the amount of muck I got out of these airbrushes was insane. Every now and then, back through the ultrasonic cleaner. And long story short, I now have 3 working airbrushes. So, is an ultrasonic cleaner worth it for stripping your models? Absolutely not. Is it worth it for cleaning an airbrush, even a cheap one? Yes, absolutely, 100% guarantee that you'll have a better time using an ultrasonic cleaner to clean your airbrush. Another application that I think will work really well is actually removing mold release agent from plastic models. If you just use a little bit of warm water and soap into the ultrasonic cleaner and you put your models in there before you prime them, that's going to do a great job to remove all that grease and fingerprints and everything. Unfortunately, you'll have just as good a job if you just run them through some hot water and soap in the sink. So probably not the justification for buying one there. My next experiment will be to see if I can clean my brushes in there, if that does any good. Because that'll be a really nice way to see if I can save some brushes. So, there you go. don't want the video to go on too long because there's not really much more to say. So I took all the risk there for you, so you don't have to do something stupid like turn your house into an IED factory like I did. Yeah. So, 50-50 on the is it worth it for a hobby purchase. But, and obviously what I was doing was incredibly stupid and dangerous. But if you're running an airbrush, even a cheap one, definitely think about it, because you'll be surprised how much gunk came out of that airbrush. Even the one I thought was clean had a lot of gunk come out of it. Also, if you wear a lot of jewellery or stuff like that, they'd be really useful for you to clean. I don't. Can't stand jewellery. Hate the stuff. Now, I've got a drop pod to strip and break down to its key parts because the person I purchased it off didn't know how to build it properly. And I've also got a little update for some new models to start working on. So, yeah. I'll keep you guys informed on that. Thank you for watching. If you've made it to the end, as always, just say hi, Bando. And, yeah, I appreciate you all being here. I really do. We are 1 subscriber off 1,800 subscribers, which is wild. Now, I'm not going to do a giveaway for 2,000 subscribers. I know I've done them before, but I won't be doing 2,000 because I think, you know, it was only 500 subscribers ago we did the last giveaway, so I'm going to wait a little bit. Maybe 2,500. But, yeah. Got here because of you guys. Really appreciate it. Still find it really funny when people try to, you know, throw shade at me for having, you know, a small subscriber base. And I'm like, bro, are you smoking the same thing I am? Because I've got a huge subscriber base. They're all great. And I appreciate all of you. I know I say it every single time, but I really do. So thank you very much, guys. And that 0.5% of you that say that you're girls. And my, like, 0.1% that are 60 plus, which I'm pretty sure is probably just my dad. So, hi, Dad. Hope you're feeling better today. Shout out to my dad for fixing his lawnmower without spending $2,500. Yeah. If you want to support the channel, guys, as always, like, comment, subscribe. I don't have an affiliate link to sell you an ultrasonic cleaner, and I probably wouldn't show for one anyway. But if you want to use my code JAM737 over at Element Games, that'll help you get your double reward points and helps me by giving me a few points as well. They never got back to me about an actual affiliate link. Same with everyone else I've applied to. Apart from one who wanted me to do way more than what it was worth. So, sorry, American viewers, that's why I haven't got anyone to show for you guys. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you being here. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Also, the sanguinary guards still suck.